That's Hunter.
Yeah. It's the angry man is back. I'm back. That's right. Y'all ain't know that I can rock like that. Y'all ain't know that I can rock like that. Nah. Y'all ain't know that I can rock like that. Y'all ain't know that I can rock like that. Listen. Y'all ain't know that I can rock like that. Y'all ain't know that I can rock like that. Y'all ain't know that I can rock like that. United we fall, divided we rise. That's all they ever see when they look in our eyes. I ain't the least bit surprised, and I don't even ask why I study. Looking for love and all we get is despise. They prophet lying, what? Meaning they falsely prophesying, talking about we really living, but we steadily dying. Tired of mothers crying, damn, and fathers silently raging. There's gotta be a way to escape this situation now. Yup. Come on. Verse 2. We search for brighter days to escape the maladies, giving homage to the folks that passed away. I speak life with the words I say, and that's the weapon I use to keep the evil at bay. I don't play when it comes to mine. My rhymes speak of a revolution. This time it's by design, and I'ma drop these deposits. So if you scared, take your ass to the closet. Why? Let me tell you this. Let's go. I got one more verse for you. Get them off of that verse. Listen to me now. Verse 3. I drop gems, representing lugs and Timbs with backpacks. I got props like Black Moon, they want effect like Dons. I'm pouring mic like Nas. I'm the southern playalistic cat that beat them odds. I'm coming out hard. We coming out hard. Yes, sir. Y'all didn't know that I can rock like that. Ha. One time for your mind, representing for the deuce. That's right, put it down for the deuce tray. Let's go, it's the angry man. Haha. Peace. Well, hello, and hello. Welcome to Trailblazers Radio. I am your host, Mr. Fred Beaty. Thanks so very much for tuning in tonight. We are so glad that you guys are here, tuning in with us tonight, and we are so grateful that you are here tonight. We thank you for that, and we really thank you guys for your listenership and your viewership. It means so very much to us, and we are grateful, very much, and grateful. So thanks for tuning in tonight. We hope you enjoy tonight's show. A great topic of discussion, which is going to be pretty much a good topic of discussion. But before we even get into any of that, y'all see what's on. Y'all see the two people on my left and to my right, or to my left or to your right, however you are viewing them. But before we get into that part of it, let me just tell y'all this, man. First and foremost, man, we continue to follow us on all our social media platforms, Trailblazers Radio, on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. Also follow us on YouTube. We have a YouTube. Yes, we have a YouTube channel. So check us out on our YouTube channel, please, and thank you. If you guys go there to our YouTube channel, just go check that out. If you like some of the content that we're doing, that we're putting out, do me a favor. Go hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification for more stuff like this right here. And most definitely want to thank, I thank everybody that's been watching us, that's been following us, that's been viewing us, that's been listening to us on all our various audio streaming platforms. We're on a bunch of them. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, and so many other platforms, man. To go get your listening fix on. And we appreciate you. We appreciate you. However you guys take us in, however you guys view us or listen to us, we most definitely appreciate you guys for being there with us. Now, getting back to the subject at hand. Like I mentioned, the two people that's on my left or to my right, however you guys are viewing them. You guys know some of you guys know who these two people are. However, for those that need an introduction, I'm going to give these two people the best introduction that I know how I know I can. So first of all, these two ladies, This husband and wife duo is not a stranger to Trailblazer Radio. They've been on here on more than several occasions. They are, I consider them great friends. I consider them very, very cool people, and most definitely these are two people that I most definitely respect, admire, and adore. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, I just want to introduce to you guys, introducing our two brand new hosts of Trailblazer Radio, Mrs. Well, let me start with the Mr. first, Mr. T Wayne the Dragon, and Mrs. Kai Rodriguez, the Diamond Butterfly. Welcome and welcome and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
I hope I did. I hope I gave y'all a great. Hope this introduction I gave y'all did y'all some justice.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
Of course.
It was awesome.
That's what's happening.
It was awesome. You did your thing.
Welcome to the family, man. Welcome to the family, man. I am appreciative. I am happy. I am glad that you guys took up on the opportunity to come aboard with us. I am ecstatic and I am excited about what you guys have going on or what you guys are going to be bringing to us. So yeah, man, I'm looking forward to this, man. And I'm most definitely gonna give you guys a chance before the show ends. Let you guys tell everybody, who you are, where they can find you at, and also where what shows you got coming on here, and how and when they can view it and watch it. But we got a subject at hand. And I want to talk. And I want to talk. We are going to talk about it. I won't say I want to talk about it, but we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
So start us off with this little thought process that I had before 15 minutes before we came on. So everybody knows what the title is. It says, will you level up or you sabotage yourself? Well, before you get to the sabotage and all that stuff, let me lay down this foundation. So for those of us who are gamers, and I'm pretty sure there's a great majority of us. Those of you who are not gamers, let me explain to you what the process of leveling means, or what it entails. So for those of us who play games that are role playing games or anything that follows that ilk, right? So the process of leveling means that you play the game and then you get to these levels. Every time you pass a certain experience point marker, you level up. Whether it's by one level or whether it's by several levels. There are several things that happen when you level up, right?
Right.
Those of us who are gamers, there certain things increase when you level up. Your health increases, your stamina increases. Certain perks become available to you when you level up. And every time you level up, there's something else opens up for you. Something else becomes available to you, like a new ability, or even better yet, something else that you can do that you couldn't do before, prior to you beginning playing. So every time you level up, you get stronger, you get better, you get faster, you become deadlier as well. So I'm using the video game analogy because it fits what we're talking about.
Right.
What we're going to be discussing. Every time we get specific or specific plateau in life, we go up one level. We level up. Whether it's a traumatic event, whether it's events, or maybe you got promoted on a job, or maybe birth of a child, or any type of event that we go through. We end up leveling up in some sort of way. Most of the time that we level up is through knowledge. We level up through knowledge, and not just well, to me, leveling up is more about knowledge than it is about physical attributes. Because as we get older, our bodies begin, our bodies start to break down and start to fail. But the one thing that always stays, the one thing that stays sharp, even through old age for a lot of us is our minds. You know, I know people that are like, you know, that are my father's age and older, and their minds are my father's still sharp. My father's still sharp as a nail, you know, and that's a good thing. But the other thing I wanted to kind of mention was for when we as people talk about leveling up, we're talking about leveling up as far as financial or mostly material. Everybody's talking about leveling up as far as making money is concerned, you know, graduating from a certain earnings threshold to get to that next earnings threshold, or leveling up to get that house or that car or whatever that you've always wanted. Now, leveling up is a good thing. It could be a good thing. It can be a bad thing. It can be used for good because it helps us get to the level to get to that next place or plateau that we need to. But it can also be bad because because people, when they get to that point, people do get arrogant. They do get haughty. They do get proud. They get the biggest head. And usually the biggest heads are the easiest ones to pop, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
But what do y'all think about that particular? What do y'all think about that concept?
I can relate to the gamer. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Sitting across from my games right now. But yeah, the level up is, for me, it's a little bit of all of that. For me, it is the financial. For me, it is the mental. You know, for me, it is the physical. Like, leveling up is just taking that next step up. Collecting the prize for the grind and for the work that you've put in. Because you don't want to stay stagnant in the same level. You want to level up. You know what I mean? You want to make it to that next step. You want to make it to the next plateau and get what comes along with that. Well, because that just strengthens your resolve. That just strengthens where you're going. So yeah, you want to level up at every chance. But that's where I'm at with that. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta level up, otherwise you just sitting stagnant.
Yeah.
Why play the game if you're not playing in it to win it? You know what I mean? So yeah, you want to level up. You want to level up.
Stagnation is the end. Stagnation is the enemy of progress. We all know that.
Ooh, we know that.
One of the things that I think is kind of important for folks to understand is that, and this is kind of brings out one of the points that I wanted to throw out, wanted to put out here, and I want us to kind of discuss this a little bit, is to, number one, understand the reason as to why you're leveling up.
Right.
What's your why? Why are you looking to get to the next plateau? Is it because for some sort of social status? Is it for financial status? Is it just because you just want to have the knowledge? What is your why? Why are you wanting to level up? And trust me, it's not a video game to where as you play you level up. This is life, and video games are two completely different things. It's not that you can't. It's not like you play a mission and you get XP points at the end of this mission. Life is an ongoing thing, and there's no XP points, and there's no respawn buttons. There's no game over and all that stuff. When it's game over, it's literally game over.
Yeah.
Right.
There's no respawn button, and there's no, there's no option. There's no continue countdown either. So I think one of the things we need to understand is why we're leveling up. Why are we seeking to get to that next echelon? We need to understand why we're trying to get there. What is our reasonings for wanting to be at that particular level, and not wanting? We all know that to stay still is, for a lot of us, to stay still is death. Not death literally, but death figuratively.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people are comfortable in their comfort zone too. So, that we're you're saying Tony was saying you don't want to level up. There are a lot of people who are, to get to the other half of the coin with the self-sabotage, is people are comfortable and they don't want to change as badly as people want to change, and they may have a reason to step forward to that next level. That's also something new. It's something uncertain. It's something they've never done before, or maybe they tried to do before but failed. So people get comfortable, complacent right where they are. Like, I know what to expect here. I know what's going to happen here. I know what's going on here. And although I can see something better, another level in the horizon, I don't know if I want to take that chance. And that's where that self and sometimes unconscious self-sabotage comes in.
But is it? But like, that's an interesting point that you just brought up. But shouldn't that be like that's a natural thing for a lot of us to kind of just shrink back from wanting to go to another level, going up to a different plateau in our existence, or whatever that is. So that's a natural tendency for us. That's a natural tendency for a lot of us, myself included.
Yeah.
But
it is. But at the same time, I don't know about the other gamers out there, but as for me, I like to have a game plan when I go into the game. Like, one of my favorite games is Madden. I like to have a game plan when I'm getting ready to go into battle and take care of business. So
right.
With that, understand that there's going to be some things you are going to have to do that aren't comfortable and you're not used to. And you have to come out of your comfort zone in order to accomplish some of these things.
And that's where the fear comes in, though, because it's called a comfort zone for a reason, because depending on your upbringing, depending on, were you beat down as a child, were you beat down as a teenager, were you told you couldn't accomplish anything? Did you go for different goals? Did you go to do different things and, keep hitting a brick wall? You can only hit a brick wall so many times before you stop going that way,
True.
And then now you're scared. Every step becomes uncertain. It's like, I can attest personally, luckily I have a really good partner, but I'm open to try anything at least once. You know what I mean? Let's try this business. Let's do this. Let's do that. Because I have that entrepreneur mindset, but I'm also cognizant that I'm good as long as things are going, as long as I'm getting leads, as long as people are following through, as long as I'm getting those sales, as soon as, everybody's on your team, as soon as you start, like, I just started this new business, and you get everybody in your corner. And then 2 months later, it's like a dry well. And that's when the comfort zone kicks in, because it's like, okay, so your friends and family, they got you out the gate. Now you got to reach out and you got to keep going. Do you have the strength now to find new people, to do something different, to do something new? Or are you, like you said, shrink back into, well, I guess nobody's supporting me now, so I guess I can just go back and crawl into my cocoon and zip up and stay back over here. And it becomes that cycle, because if you do have that drive inside of you, you're going to always want to do it. But as soon as something starts to not go the way you plan, you shrink back. Mm-hmm. And until you can bust through, you'll never get to the other side of that.
And that's personality, because not everybody's in that same boat. So there are those that are in that boat, and it's hard to move forward out of that comfort zone, because you know what to expect when you're there. When you don't know what to expect, it's hard. It is hard.
It's scary.
Mm-hmm. And then the other end of that is the Freddie alluded to it, but the big head. The big head. It's a syndrome. I call it the big head syndrome. And you've got people out there who they get a little taste, and all of a sudden they've got the big head. Now they are out there proclaiming they're self-proclaiming. Now you've put yourself, you put the cart before the horse, and you're not able to move as smoothly. After a while, you start to recognize the situation. We know a few people who have had the big head, and they're in the same day on the same road they were on when they got the big head. You know what I mean? Like you haven't moved forward, gone to a new town. You in the same town you was in back when you got the big head and you thought you was something. That same town ain't doing what it was doing for you before. And some of
Wow.
them are blind. They still got the big head.
But you
Still
know
got
what
the big
though?
head. It's
There's
been
nothing
like
worse than having a big head and still being stagnant. That's hard.
you know
That's
what I'm
bad. That's
saying?
horrible.
That's them rose-colored glasses. They see them, they put them glasses on, and they see the glitz and the glam, and that's what they perceive everything to be. And they don't want to take them off. They don't want to see things as they are. Or you got those people that they continue to level up because they've already spoken into existence. So now they don't want to be the person that was made out to be a liar. So they have to continue and continue and continue and continue and continue to drive, because now they done proclaim something. So now they got to make sure that it comes true, or at least it looks like they're doing
hold up
things.
appearances.
Yeah, to hold up appearances.
Oh, yeah. One of the things that Tony said about the game plan, you got to have y'all listen. If you don't take anything away from this tonight, listen to this right here. And my brother T said it perfectly. The game plan. You got to have a game plan, and that game plan has to be flexible, because it has to be able to deal with the ins and outs of what this quest is that you're about to go on. Your game plan has to be at least be able to deal with adversity when it comes around, be able to deal with lead times when they come around. If you don't have a solid game plan, then you're pretty much dead in the water. I mean,
you are.
And I think for me, it's okay to have at least 2 or 3 scripted plays, because you want to get a feel for what you're up against.
Right.
I like it some of the things that I do to, like, either a game of football or a game of basketball, or better yet, to me, a game of baseball, because it's strategic to me. It's all about understanding the situation and how you're going to react in the situation, or better yet, putting yourself in those adverse situations and then gauging how you react in those situations, and also seeing how other people react to you as you react to those situations.
Right.
You're going to have these down and distance type situations, or you're going to have these situations to where, like, and I'll use a baseball analogy for myself. It's 2 outs, bases loaded, and the bases loaded at the bottom of the ninth, and you're the one up to the plate. What are you gonna do? How are you gonna approach that situation? Are what are you looking for the pitcher? Are you looking for your pitch to hit, or are you just gonna swing away? And also, you have to take it. Also with that, I think the other thing about it with the game plan is, you have to have someone. You got to be coachable in your game plan. You got to have somebody to coach you in your game plan. You can't be the one. You can't be the one calling the plays and running the plays too. That it don't work it don't work that way. You got to have somebody that's going to call the plays for you, and you execute the plays.
True. That's true. Now, if I use the football analogy, you could be a quarterback like an Aaron Rodgers, and you could be calling the plays because the coach allowed it, and running them plays on offense. So, but you have to be wise about what you're doing. You have to be wise with how you do it. Now, she says she's got a good partner. Yeah, I have a great partner. Because she keeps me level with that, like she's able, because I see the big picture in things. I see the big picture. I look ahead. I see a lot of times is the big picture. She sees the little, like, I know I want to get to New York. Something's waiting for me in New York, but she knows how we're going to get there. You know what I mean? It's like she'll pattern, and I'll be like, well, but New York's right there. We just got to go right there. She'll be the one like, look, there's tolls, there's gas, there's, you got to take certain steps to get where you want to go. You can't just hop into New York. and I'll be like, but it's right there. I see it, I feel it, I can smell it. Let's go. And you can't just go.
Get halfway there and run out of gas and be like, to check the the gas gauge, or I forgot where are we gonna stay. Now we here. Where are we gonna stay at?
You see, I look at the big picture. I'm trying to get to Madison Square Garden. She's like, okay, can we get to New York first? Then we hit Madison Square Garden. You gotta have a game plan.
Yep.
And I buck against her sometimes on that, because it's like I sometimes I can be impatient because I can feel it that bad. I can smell it that bad. So it's like, I just right there. What do you mean I gotta take 20 steps? I'm only seeing 5. We can do it in 5. If we jump high enough, we can make it. You know what I mean? That's not her. Like, she's like, but you gotta do what you gotta. Need the game plan. Game plan. Without the game plan, and not only that, if you have a game plan, you know when things go to the left.
Yeah.
Because you're not mucking it. You know what I mean?
Right.
You have a game plan. You're also able to see when things aren't quite right, or you're veering off path, because you've got a game plan that's set. You set your course. You know what I mean? So yeah, the game planning is it's important.
I think that's a step that a lot of people, even me, like, and that goes back to what I was saying about when things start to slow down, or when things veer off course. Having that game plan can put you back on track. You can say, or you can, nothing's written in stone. So you have your game plan, and I need to do this. Like we were just talking about it maybe a couple of weeks ago we need to get, journals. We need to get notebooks. They don't need to be expensive, school time, whatever. Go to the Dollar Tree, get you a bunch of, one subject notebooks and put in there, for different things in your life. Me personally, what is Kai's goals for the next 6 months? Or where does Kai want to be a year from there? Where does Kai want to be, 5 years from now? Where does Tony want to be a year, 6 years from? Where do we want to be as a couple? Where do we want to be business-wise? People's like, I don't want to do all of that. But you need to do all of that. I'm like, people, and if you listen to people way at the top, that's what they do. They're telling you, listen, I plan. I have a life coach. I got a business coach. I got a this coach. I got a that coach. I got somebody who tells me how to eat, somebody who tells me when to work out. They do all of that. And we're down here, I don't want to do none of that, but you want to attain what they have. But you think that you can do it without doing what they do. Like, it don't take all of that. I don't need all of that. Okay. They got personal assistants that's like, okay, this is what's on your schedule today to keep them accountable. You got a meeting at this time. You got to meet. Then you got to go to your doctors. Then you got to call your wife. You got to call your wife. You got to call your kids. Oh, don't forget tomorrow's your anniversary. Like,
why you pointing at me when you said that?
He better not forget our anniversary. I was smart. It's his birthday. If you forget our anniversary, that means you forgot your birthday. Yeah. But people don't want to plan, and it is tedious. But you got to have that game plan. You write it down, make it plain. If you're not planning to fail, you fail. You know what I mean? If you fail to plan, you planning to fail. There's so many, little nuances and little user friendly things out there about how to do it. If a dream without a plan, put the plan into action. There's all these little things out there to help to tell us this. You got a plan. Write it down. Put the sticky notes everywhere. Put them on your phone. We are all slaves to our phone. So set them up. Use your phone for your benefit. There's apps and all these things out there, but you got to do it. Otherwise, you're keeping yourself, like we've all said, stagnant. And next year you'll be right here going, okay, what am I going to do next year? And then you'll do the same things. And we all, a lot of us do it. Out the gate, we're full of energy and we're running. And as soon as that pebble makes us stumble, we're like, all right, I'm going to go sit down now. I'm done.
Either that or you fall into a depression because you haven't reached your goals. And for those of you that are scriptural out there, for those of you that are spiritual, write it down and make it plain. Mm-hmm. It's in your word. That even the Bible tells you, write it down and make it plain. That way you know what you're doing. there was a point in time. I mean, we still run into hard times. Everybody does, but there was a time where things really got rough for us. We decided we were going to sit down at the table. We're going to write everything out and make it plain. Write it all out. This is our goals. This is where we at. This is where we want to be. This is how we need to get there. You're writing out your financial ledger and everything else. Okay, this is what we need. Now, this is what we need for this week. This is what we need for the following week. Like, we did that. And I found, though I was not used to that, I found that when we did that, things flowed easier for us. Things became what they needed to be. We were able to achieve goals more easily. We were able to level up. Just doing that, we did level up, and it felt good. So not only that, we talked about accountability. You mentioned that, Fred, having somebody account. So with that, we were accountable to each other to get stuff done, and it worked.
And see, one of the things that we talked about is one of the things that sabotage us, especially the plan of it, is when we don't plan it out properly.
Yep.
When we don't, with a plan have instances, it have provisions for unforeseen instances.
Mm-hmm.
Look, proper preparation prevents poor planning.
Yep.
You got to be prepared. You have to have that plan. One of the things that we really do is, and I again be included because I do it too. One of the things that sabotages us from leveling up is when we do not plan properly. When we don't implement things, when we don't look at the bigger picture. We'll see the whole like a quarterback should see the whole field.
Right.
The whole field.
When you don't see everything, that's when a myriad of things can go wrong.
That's when you miss opportunities.
Mm-hmm. And blocks and roadblocks. You miss the roadblocks if you can't. Every opportunity is not a good opportunity. Every opportunity is not one that's meant for you. And just because it glitters and it shines doesn't mean that it's something that's meant for you to do. And everything isn't something that's not meant for you to do too. So you being able to tell what should I be doing, what shouldn't I be doing? Is this something that's advantageous for me to be doing? Is it going to get me something? Is it going to get me closer toward my goals? Or is it just something to do? Is it a need or is it a want? And that's like a big thing is, are we doing needs or are we just doing something because we want to? And there's nothing wrong with doing something because we want to do it, but making sure that you are honest with yourself. If I have a goal, how serious am I about getting to my goals? If I make one step closer, maybe my plan was to get 3 steps closer this week, but I only got 1 step closer. I should not beat myself up because I only got 1 step closer. If I did everything and at the end of the week, I only got 1 step closer, well, at least I didn't take 2 steps back.
Exactly.
So celebrate even the small steps because at least you went forward. There's people who went 3 steps backwards who didn't do nothing this week.
Yep.
That's another thing. Make not just self goals, but like make your daily goals, make your weekly goals, make your monthly goals, but set yourself up with goals. So you have something that in your dome, you're reaching for, because otherwise you're not going to be where you want to be. I mean, it's hard. People do this fly by night type of expectations with life, and they don't set up the goals. They don't do what they need to do. They don't plan. They don't have a game plan. So when it's time to answer up for, where are you at now?
They got no idea where they are.
It's been a year. What have you accomplished? I mean, even if it's been a month, what have you accomplished? They can't tell you. They don't know. So yeah, the planning has got to be on. You've got to plan. I think that I'm a big advocate of it now. I wasn't in the beginning. She brought me into it, and I believe in it. I do. I wholeheartedly. I'll tell her sometimes we'll hit a brick road or not a brick road, but a brick wall. And I'm like, babe, we need to plan. We need to sit down, write it all out, because I know what it felt like when we achieved after writing it out the first time. So I saw the success. I saw the level up that happened. I was good to go.
Gotta plan it out. If you don't plan it out, you, like you said, you plan to fail. If you don't fail, if you fail to plan,
that's the first step to that self-sabotage right there.
Yep. It's a lot of, that's another thing that a lot of us go through when we do the self-sabotage, because we think that what we're thinking about or what we're game planning or what we're the bigger picture that we're seeing is bigger than our abilities, bigger than our abilities are. Nah, trust your abilities to get you to where you got to go. And because a lot of people, I fall into this trap too, because I have these big grandiose plans, and then I have this big old picture, but then I look at my abilities and my talents, and I'm thinking that, well, damn, I got this big old picture, this big old vision of what I want this to be, but my talents don't match up to how large the vision is or how large the picture that I'm painting is.
Right.
Don't let that be a deterrent, because even though you have this big picture and you have this grandiose vision, trust your talents, trust your abilities, because your abilities are going to get you to where you got to go, where you have to go. And then they don't, even on top of that, if your abilities don't get you to that place, God's always going to put people in your path that are gonna make up for the deficit.
Right. You're always going to learn something along the way too, and sometimes we have to be okay with that, because I've learned through everything that I've done. I've always learned something from each and everything that I've done to get me to where, okay, well, this is now what I'm doing. It's not what I thought I'd be doing 10 years ago or 15 years ago or 20 years ago. But everything that I've learned along the path has got me in a better position to be where I am right now. Like, being a manager at, a restaurant, doing, working with kids and doing all of these different things. They may not have been the end goal, but I've learned things from all of those different positions and different jobs and different things that I've done, that now where I am today, and being a business owner and all of these different things, now I'm in a better position to make the dream come true.
I do. A lot, because I think, like I said, for me, I know that I personally, part of my self-sabotage is doubting. I doubt my personal abilities and my personal talent and my talents.
Mm-hmm.
Because I always think that I don't have enough talent to get to that next plateau, that next level, or I feel that I don't have enough ability to get to that next level, to that next plateau, because I always think that I'm inadequate, or I don't have enough of this, or I don't have enough of that, or I don't have, or that maybe I'm lacking in a specific area. And that's I think that's one of the ways that I sabotage myself, because I downplay my own abilities. And when you do that, I'm gonna tell y'all from firsthand experience. I'm gonna tell everybody that's watching from firsthand experience, you do a disservice to yourself. You do a huge disservice to yourself when you downplay, or better yet, when you downplay your own ability, when you downplay or you don't acknowledge or recognize your own abilities or your own talents, because now you're not trusting in what you've been taught. You're not trusting in what you've learned, and you're not trusting the process. Hey, sis, you're not trusting the process. You're not trusting your own self to get to that level, to get to that process, get to that level, that plateau you want to get to. And I have a really, really hard time with that. I will admit that I have a real bad time with that. And
you're
for
not
me,
alone. I'm right there with you. I do the same thing. I think a lot of us do the same thing. You're not alone.
Yeah, she was just asked. We went to an event. She was asked to sing. I am going to put you on the spot, but she was asked to sing, and this woman who asked her to sing can sing.
Right.
It happened to have been Malay, and she can.
And Lomel. Malay and
Oh my
Lomel
goodness.
had just performed, and Lomel freestyled for like 5 minutes. Malay just
on
put
somebody
on,
else's song.
Yeah, Malay put on her track and was like, she always does this with this one track, with this one song. She'll sing the song, and at the end, there's like 2 minutes of just music playing, and she'd be like, anybody want to freestyle? Lomel happened to be in the building, so he came up and he killed it. She was like, nah, I'm about to run this back. So she run the trick back and just let the instrumental play. He freestyled through the whole entire track. And then she was like, okay, and now we're going to get my girl Butterfly up. I was like, oh, no, you're not. No, you're not. I'm not. It's like coming up following Beyonce. What? No, you're crazy. Nope, not doing it. Love you. You're not embarrassing me like that. And she was like, girl, I wish I'd have known that's why you said no. I'd have pulled your behind up out of that seat. Don't you? And it's funny because we had just finished talking about that because I had did her makeup for her show. And we had just talked about stop self-sabotage yourself. Stop self-doubting yourself. Stop acting like you're not as good as everybody else. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And then I sat right up there and was like, nope.
Yeah, she won't perform behind. She don't like performing behind me. I have to, when we sing, I have to let her go up first because she will not sing in back of me. And that's a thing that a lot of people, like you said, that's a thing that a lot of people struggle with. It is. It goes back to the comfortability. It goes back to that. It goes back to making sure, in your own mind that you're comfortable with what you're getting ready to step into. And it can be hard. I see it first class, or not first class, but firsthand. I see it with my own wife. Like I can see, and I try to motivate, but it is hard. It's hard. And to her credit, going up against she wasn't really, it wasn't a competition. So she wasn't going up against them, but I could understand where her mind was going with it because they tore that song up. One song, and they just tore it up. Like I was in awe. So I understood it. But again, you have to carry, I think you had mentioned it, Fred, but you have to carry a level of confidence in your talent. Because otherwise, I mean, they wouldn't have called her up there or wanted her had they thought she wasn't up to specs already. Like Malay's not going to call you up on her stage, if she doesn't think you can do what you need to do. She believes your talent will speak for you. So you have to have that confidence. You have to, that's a form of self,
sabotage. Yeah.
It is. Like, be confident. You hit that one on the head, Fred. You really do have to be confident in your talent and what you're doing.
You can't walk not being confident. It'll be with the moment that you lose confidence in yourself, you lost half the battle already.
Yeah. There are those that struggle though. There are professionals, we'll call them A-listers in the singing world, who will get up there and they'll do their thing. They'll tear it up. But before they had to go on stage, you wouldn't know that they spent like a half hour getting sick in the bathroom over nerves because they were getting ready to get on that stage and in front of millions, and they're sitting there just stuck. So it happens. Yeah, they're struck. Like I believe, but once they get the mic in their hand, it's all go. And that's the way I am. Sometimes I'm the same way. It's not just her. Like I'll get up there, get ready to do a song, we get ready to sing, and I'm like, oh my goodness, how's this gonna work? Is this gonna pan out? Is this gonna be right? Am I gonna sound right? And to that, I'll only do one song. I'll tell them I'm gonna do one song. I'll give you one song. And then next thing you know, I'm like, all right, put that other track on. Let's play the other, because I have the mic in my hand, so I'm ready to go. You have to have confidence, and it doesn't always come easy. So I don't want to beat down on people that don't have confidence. It takes effort. It really does. But you have to have that in order to level up. You need that confidence. Without it, you're not going to be able to do what you need to do because you're going to doubt yourself.
And fake it till you make it only takes you but so far.
In so many different types of games too. Not every game can be faked and made.
Right.
You know.
I so despise that saying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that saying at all. I don't, because my thing is, if you fake it till you make it, then you are pretending.
Yeah, you're not giving it.
You can only pretend to be something that you feel like you are not, or that you are not, for just so long. Right. And then the real thing gonna come to the forefront at some point.
At some point it has to. At some point it has to.
Right.
I mean, leveling up is putting it all out there. You know what I mean? It's you have to, in order to make progress, you have to do the work. You have to put the work in. So yeah, faking it just ain't gonna make it.
and I like some of the people that I talk to, like, I'm not a big fan of that phrase either. I get where some people, what they might be meaning by it is like, okay, so you're not 100% confident, but kind of like pretend. Some people can put on a mask and step into a persona. Like some people on stage will say, I'm super shy, but once I step on stage, I'm a whole nother person.
Yeah.
So it's they can step into that until their confidence level meets them.
Yeah.
So there's that kind of thing. But like you said, sometimes if you don't get it, then that real you and that fake personality, they don't ever coincide. And then there's that one time where something might happen and the DJ might think he's slick and turn the mic down or turn the music down, and they hear the real you and you be like, what you doing?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I hate when they do that.
I think it's, first of all, how are you doing? Let me ask you that question. You feeling better?
I'm feeling better. Last night was scary, but I'm feeling better today. I got some sleep, and so I'm feeling better.
Okay. All right.
That was scary. That was scary. That was scary.
I'm
We ran that race before.
I'm glad that you're better.
Yeah. Today's a good day.
Okay.
Today is a good day.
Good.
Yeah.
I know that, I'm glad that y'all came in and tackled the topic. I'm sorry that I'm late. I literally lost track of time because I'm in here cooking for my coworkers, y'all. And when I tell y'all I lost track of time, I always lose track of time when I'm in the kitchen, though. So forgive me.
Listen, I understand that. Listen, I was talking with my son, though. We was downstairs having a conversation with my son, and then his partner called because we about to be first-time grandparents in he's doing about a week. She's doing about a week. And so I was like, I think my water just broke. I'm like, oh, come on. My son's like, don't I got a show tonight? If the water's broke, is that going to mess up your show? Can we get dropped off or something?
Oh, gosh.
Like, what? But they haven't called to say anything. I was like, well, let me know what the doctor says. If, they think really the water broke or something different, just let me know. So, but I haven't gotten a call yet, so everything is cool.
It's to see the enemy will try to play with your mind. He will.
Oh, yeah.
And when we were in the hospital, it was like the doctor came in. Well, first the nurse came in and was like, yeah, we might want to keep her and run some tests. When she said it, the first thing that came to mind was the show tonight. And I was like, oh man, are you serious? And then a doctor came in and he was saying the same thing. I'm like, well, how long you gotta keep her? We showed up at 3 a.m. Like, how long are you gonna have to keep her? And they were like, well, we want to run some more tests, make sure her heart is good and everything. I'm like, well, you know what? Her health comes first. So do what you have to do. If you gotta keep her, then that's fine.
Trust me, I think I have literally done like 3, maybe 4 shows from my hospital room. So in my hospital bed, literally.
She remembered that. She's like, Coco did it. If I have to do it, I'm gonna do it.
I've done it. So yes, I've done like 3, maybe 4 from my hospital room. And of course, everybody else was mad at me. They was like, why you not thinking about? I was like, I'm thinking about me. first of all, you're not in here with these people. Okay, they don't let me sleep. So
They don't.
what I do, and when I'm done with the show, I'm gonna knock out. So we good.
Right.
But I appreciate always the caring and concern. But at the same time, I love what I do. So
Mm-hmm.
if I'm able to do it, I'll do it. But when I'm not, I'm not. You know what I mean? I always
Yep.
take care of you first because they only one you. And if you don't, ain't nobody else gonna do it. So
Right.
That's right.
always make sure that you are on the up and up.
Yeah.
And of course, I thank you guys for tackling the topic because when I came up with the topic and I sent it to Fred, I was like, I need you to dissect the topic. And even if I couldn't have made it, the whole thing was to really just get over to the people watching is that first of all, it's time to level up. You know, a lot of us have been stuck in the same season for a long time.
Yeah.
And you can't stay stuck in the same season forever. So it's time to level up at some point. And the question is, what is it going to take for some of you to level up?
Right.
And I saw that, y'all put in the comments that, leveling up takes for you to see the bigger picture, and it does. And like I said, I always look at the bigger picture first. So I don't think small, but that ain't how my brain works. I always look at I always had to be like, hold on, if I make this decision today, how is it gonna affect me like in the next 3 months? Not
Right.
just how's it going to affect me tomorrow. How's it going to affect me in the next 3 months?
Right.
Is everything going to be okay? If I go make this purchase right here, what am I going to look like in the next quarter? That type of deal. And so I always put that type of stuff into perspective before I just go off on a fluke and go do something. And that's with anything, you know. And I think that when you get ready to make decisions, especially about career, lifestyle changes, that you should really sit down and think it out. Never
Yeah.
do anything based off your emotions, though. Oh my God. Please don't make no decisions while you emotional. Because most of the time you're gonna make the wrong one.
Right.
And so, when you're emotional, don't do that. Wrong thing to do. Even
So
when
yeah.
you're having a conversation with people, even when you're
Right.
having a conversation with folks and you all in your emotion, sometimes you just gotta shut up. Just be like, we'll come back and address this later. Let me take a moment, kind of deal, because you don't people a lot I think a lot of people don't understand that once you say something, you can't take it back.
No, and sorry doesn't fix everything. Like, me and my husband, like I tell him all the time, I'm like, some people they're like, well, I said sorry. Why you still like, let me punch you in the face and say sorry.
Right.
Are you still in pain? I said
Right.
sorry. Why you still bleeding? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it
so
fix
you can't take
anything.
it back.
You take it back. Once you've done or said something, it's done, it's said. You need to give me the time to, I can't forget it. I got to get over it. Saying
Yeah.
sorry is nice. Apologizing is nice. It is the right thing to do. It doesn't take away from it being the right thing to do, but it doesn't mean that the pain it caused is gone.
Right.
It's
And
not
two, it's like, how do you expect me to get over it like right after you did it? Like,
right.
Yeah.
I think that people who have a very bad misconception of how timing is supposed to work. Some people, like
Well, it works for them. You know what I mean? It works for them. I said sorry. Now it works for me if you move on. Like, let's just move on. I said sorry. But,
yeah, like no, I gotta process it, kind of thing. Because even after the sorry, the whole thing is, do I still want to fool with you afterwards though? Like,
right.
and more
Yeah.
than likely, depending on what happened, the answer will probably be no. So, at the end of the day, I know for me, like, I know how to deal with everybody. The thing of it is, you can't deal with no two people the same way.
Yeah.
And a lot of people feel like all of their friends are the same. They're not. They're not. All of your friends are different people. And I know all of mine are cut from a whole different cloth from each other.
Right.
That whole is night and day. No. Like I got friends that are literally every season. Listen, I can't I can't even put all of y'all in the same room sometimes. So I already know that trying to deal with y'all and handle y'all the same way ain't gonna work. At the same time, the topic that we on too is in the leveling up. You got to check your circle too, because when you level up, if your circle ain't happy for you, there's a whole lot of problem.
Right.
Why you can't celebrate me if I'm supposed to be your homie? I leveled up. Now you got an issue with me.
Aspect of it either, but you gotta level up with your circle.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So like at the end of the day, like why you can't be happy for me if I'm your homie, but you mad at me because I leveled up because I said I didn't want to stay where I'm at. I told you I wanted to change, but I guess you won't listen. And so when people react or become envious or they start to show signs of jealousy, we got bitterness being portrayed, that already let you know that it was in your circle to begin with. You just didn't see it.
Right.
And so, you know, a lot of times I have been around people in situations like that, where when you tell somebody you're trying to do something, you got an idea for something and they shoot the idea down. You didn't even let me finish everything I was saying, first of all, and you just shot it down like in mid conversation. No, I don't think that's good. I don't think you're gonna be able to do that. How you gonna make this work? This is what they say. Nothing like, you know what? Go ahead and try it.
What can I do to help? You know,
yeah, like what? Yeah, like
no, you can't do that. What? Why you, girl? Come on now. You know, a whole bunch of people done tried to do that before you.
Right.
Already 15 people in our city doing that. Why?
Right.
Girl, why you think like but they none of them me.
Right.
Like,
and I tell people that all the time. They were, what are you? Just one. And you still got people.
Times.
Go ahead.
A lot of times they're, excuse me, I'm sorry. They're coming, sometimes a lot of times they're coming out of a place of jealousy.
Yeah.
So it's like they know they're about to get left behind to some degree, and they know that you could possibly do it, and they can't, or they haven't been able to, or they don't
have the drive to do.
But they don't want you to. They don't want you to level up, right? So yeah, a lot of times it's a jealousy thing as well.
Right. I actually was in a room before, and it was like a networking event kind of thing, and a whole bunch of the girls got together and said, okay, we all gonna go to the networking event. I mean, all of them had something going on. They all had something to offer. And I was like, listen, come to the networking event. Make sure you got business cards. Hand out your brochures. Hand out your flyers. I'm always telling people, make sure you come ready now because the people ready for you when you get here. So make sure you come ready to present yourself and do your elevator pitch, And so people come in and you had one girl come in. She was in a crowd of people talking to these people over here because it was like you go from table to table. And she was telling the people about her girlfriend that was coming behind her. She was like, yeah, if you need something, don't choose her. First of all, you had a whole live networking event. Why would you do that? And second of all, you don't even realize how that made you look to them.
Right.
And so she hadn't even walked up to present herself yet, and you just drug her. Just threw her under the bus before she could even get up there. So it was just like, when I noticed what was going on and somebody actually came to tell me about it, I stopped it. I grabbed the mic. I said, hold on. I know that this is not what we was getting ready to do tonight, but I got to address the elephant in the room. First of all, don't ever walk up to anybody's table and badmouth another company or another person that's in the room. If you have an issue with them, I suggest you settle your issue before you get up in here, because we're not going to do that. While you think you're making somebody else look bad, you just make yourself look bad.
Yeah.
Then I said, now y'all can continue y'all party, and I walked away. So, like everybody was just like, certain people knew I was going to address it, but I was just like, I don't do that. Even if in the back of my brain, I know that you couldn't do something, it ain't my business to tell nobody you can't do it.
Right.
When they come to you,
help.
Right. And when they come to you to get the job done and you can't do the job, then they'll know you couldn't do it. But is it my job to tell people you couldn't do it? No. And that's not what you do. That's not how we handle business. And so, like I mean, it's just stuff that I sit back and I see and I watch. And so when it came down for her opportunity to be able to level up herself, she tried to drag somebody else. So until she sabotages her friend, or that's what she thought she was doing. And so yeah, like you just killed all your chances. So everybody that noticed her when she was trying to come up to the table, they all walked away from the tables when she walked up. After that, you see what I'm talking about?
See?
Yeah, like when you dogged her, and now don't nobody in the room want to deal with you. No. They don't even want to know what type of business you got.
About me behind my back.
Right.
You
like,
say this about what you gonna say about me?
Yeah, seriously.
Right. And so I was just like, this really was not the time nor the place. And so, at the end of the day, the same one she drug ended up leaving with a whole bunch of new clients that night. And I was like, it's funny how the tables turn.
Yeah.
And so you just have to be careful when you do stuff like that. If you're in a room full of people talking about somebody that are you going to stand in the room or you going to walk out? Or are you going to stop them from talking? Which one you going to do? And so at the end of the day, like, you couldn't do that. Somebody could not, even though I'm just now getting to know you guys, somebody couldn't pull me in a room full of people and somebody bring up Tony and Kai. Because I'm going to be like, who? Say, repeat what you just said. Okay, hold on. Like, that's the type of person, that's how I am, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what you say? Hold on, let me get them on the phone so they can get here and come and defend themselves. Or just let me get them on the phone so they can hear what you got to say. Now, repeat what you said.
Oh, yeah. I just saw.
Go ahead.
I just saw two poems, two memes, two something. One was don't tell me what they said about me. Tell me why they was comfortable to say it to you about me. And then the other one was don't say nothing to me about somebody because I'm gonna call them and like you said. If you can't say it in your face, don't say it to me because I'm gonna make sure you say it directly there. Like, oh, Tony did what? Tony, come here. You did. Hear what she said? You did. Like you said. Like, listen, we're not gonna do that. Well, we're not gonna do.
No, that's not what we do. Right, and that's not what we're gonna do. And so at the end of the day, I sit back and I make sure that I'm always watchful of my surroundings. You know what I mean? And I pay attention to everything that's going on. Not because I got an eye for detail, but I just been a watcher my whole entire life. So, at the end of the day, I'll be that main one that spots something that don't seem right. When everybody else is like, oh, we having a good time, I'll be like, oh, okay. Y'all having a good time, but there's a crack over there in the beam and it's about to fall down and hit you in the head. But okay, do you? So, I mean, my thing is this. So now that we are on the premise of leveling up, right? What do you guys see for y'all next level up moment?
Oh,
you got a few.
Yeah, I mean, we have individual goals, we have couple goals, and we have business goals. For me, personally, I have my music, my books, and I just restarted my Mary Kay business. So number one is getting my third book out, and then finish writing the fourth book, and then writing the fifth book, and getting this series that's taken way too long to complete done and out. And now I can see what I want to do with the rest of my literary career. And then musically, I say all the time, if I had the people behind me that I do now, back when I was younger, I didn't have that fear. I get up, I grab a mic, I don't care. I still was nervous as I am now, but I would do it. Let me hear you sing. Okay. Didn't care if I sounded like crap. Didn't even think in the back of my head, them people when they go on American Idol and they be totally buffoons, but they still confident. That was me. Like, I don't care what you think I sound like. I'm going to sing anyway. Now it's like, let me hear you sing. I'm sick right now. I can't, but it's like, if I had the people I have now behind me back then, so now I just got to refine that same inner confidence and bring that girl back out, which will help everything that I do. Like people say it's called self-confidence. Like I know it's called self-confidence, but when you weren't, it's still instilled in you from a young age. Like your youth builds that up in you, and if you don't have those building blocks, now you're trying to rebuild them and find them or whatever. So those are my personal. What are your personal?
I have a lot of personal. I'm trying. I gotta get my health right.
I didn't get into that.
On top of that, I need to
Your books.
I need to get into my book. Let me talk. I need to get into my books. I need to get into my book. I have 4 books I'm working on. I need to get those done, and I shelved them for the music. So I've got to get those books done. I have music that I have to get done as well. So I have to manage my time right between those things, all of those things. At the same time, I also want to level up my marriage because I want us to be more out there. I want us to be more, we're not enjoying, like we put a lot of time into the work we have to do. So we're constantly grinding. When I can honestly say, and it's not like other people haven't had that problem, but in the past 14, 15 years, we've gone on one vacation. It would be nice to get away, get a breather, take a breather, and just live life for a moment. You know what I mean? Instead of letting life live us. Just get away, pack up, tell her, look, pack up for 5 days, we're out, we're gone. And then find somewhere to go and enjoy ourselves and put everything else that we're carrying, put it down for a minute. So I want to level up the marriage in that way and start living the marriage as well.
So I have a suggestion for that. My suggestion for that is until you are able to get away, make sure y'all do date night at least once a week.
And see, we do try to do, that's a good idea. We do try to do that. It's not once a week. I do try to spend some time with her because she's quick to. We're in my man cave, and this is where I do all my work. So I spend a lot of time up here, and I suppose that could look like I'm not spending time with her, which I'm not because I'm upstairs. Right. But I definitely need to get into doing at least something once a week. But our thing is going to the movies. We were waiting for the good movies when they come out. We're hitting them. They come out on Friday. We go on Thursday. So we do dinner. We do dinner in a movie, or we'll do lunch in a movie. And we try to keep that. And then on top of that, we spend time here, which I don't know if that necessarily counts.
I still count it as date. Yeah, it's because I tell them all the time we don't always have to go out and necessarily do anything expensive, which we don't. Dinner in a movie can be expensive now. Especially it's expensive. Nowadays. The movies expensive as the movies are, but yeah, just spend like last night. I'm not a big Halloween scary movie person, but we watched some movies last night. Bought some chips and dip, and set up and to me that's cool. Set up in the room. Me too. Watch movies didn't end very well. The night didn't end very well, but those things still mean a lot to me. So
yeah. So those are my level up things. Health, books, music, marriage. Those are my goals, and we're making and getting our finances right, getting them where they need to be. Because God is working and He's doing some big things in our life right now. So I want to stay on track and do what we need to do to get things comfortable. My wife doesn't ask for much in life at all. She does not. We are simple people. She'll want to cook steak. I want to eat hot dogs and beans or sloppy joes. I don't need all of that. Steak and potatoes. I don't need it. Don't need it.
I told me you married the wrong woman. Like you should have married Shaquita. Would have been good. Hot dogs and beans every night. Instead, you married a culinary graduate who wants to make you these fabulous meals, and you be like,
"Thank you.
What is that?
Thank you." I tell people all the time, like, listen, stop dating these chicks that tell you they cook, but they know they wouldn't get it from the Chinese restaurant. Don't play. Like you know, like that, like don't play. You know you did not cook the Szechuan. You don't even know how to spell it. Like that's not good. So, I mean, you know, that type of thing. It be getting me when you get around, especially young, what I call the young women now, and they're like 22, 23, that don't know how to cook at all. I
Yeah,
was
at all.
like, baby, can you make rice? No. Can you cook an egg? No. You can't even cook an egg. Okay, we got a whole lot of problems if you can't cook an egg. Like, you know, a whole little stuff like that. And they were like, no, if you want something to eat, I go get it. Like, so, you know, and I was like, how do you expect, you know, to do anything what you do? Well, his mama cook. That's the problem.
Oh,
If his mama is always cooking and he got to go get the plate from the mama, but he can't get one from you, boo, boo.
You know
Like,
that home cooking is like it's almost like it's becoming a lost art. You know, everybody want to Uber Eats, everybody want to
yeah,
DoorDash.
no,
It's
not my
becoming
thing.
a lost art.
Like I talked to my coworkers today, and I'm always talking about food. And I was like, you know what? They was like, yeah, let's order for tomorrow. Everybody just pitch in, da 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 da. I said, I got one even better. The same cash you was for the throw on that, hand it to me. I cook for y'all tomorrow.
See,
And so,
ooh.
you know, like I said, I went to the store and I got everything I needed. I done made them some chicken and shrimp Alfredo with some broccoli and some other stuff, and they got some other stuff in
Oh,
it, you know.
listen,
And then
oh.
I done made me a nice little breakfast bake for me to take, and so I can eat it in the morning for breakfast on the way. All that good stuff. Like so, you know, like I was like, listen, this is what I do every day. I do not eat out every day. I don't do that. You waste too much money doing that every day. And I was
mm-hmm.
like, you know, I was telling the person earlier today. I said I want you to add up everything you spend every day for a week eating out. Then add it up times 12. You spend too much money. Almost 7 grand a year just eating out. Do you know what that 7 grand in your pocket can do? Now you know, like, and when I sat down and did the numbers, I was like, yeah, them numbers is hurting your head, ain't it? Yeah. But this is
Mm-hmm.
what you do every day. I don't know nobody that can spend $150 a week eating out. Like that's not me. You know, do you know $150 what they can meal prep for me? Come on here. Like you know, I can do a whole lot of that.
$50 is some people's whole month's food budget, and you spending that
Right?
on fast food? Like, are
Yeah.
you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah. And so
So,
it's something.
so Coco, what is your level up goal
My level up
going
goal
forward?
is to get my business launch out before the end of the year because I revamped it and I'm relaunching. And so I've added on new services from on top of the services that I already had. Um, and then I also have 3 new businesses to launch out as well. So I have a nonprofit foundation now. I have 2 for-profit businesses coming out, and then I've always, you know, been a bookkeeper for a long time. So handle people books, that's second nature to me. So I've kind of ramped that up, and instead of just doing it at home, I'm actually going to have a brick and mortar building. So I got a
Ooh,
lot going on as far as career moves is being made. Um, the rest of it is just I'm focusing on ministry, whatever God wants me to do, whichever way He wants me to go, kind of situation. And because I don't know, He's doing a lot as far as what He wants me to do ministry wise, and I make sure that I'm always kind of listening to how He wants me to move, so that I don't move out of turn, kind of situation. And so, you know, and then I'm relaunching my life support counseling section that I used to do. So there's a lot of relaunching going on before January. Yeah.
ooh, busy lady,
Mhm.
busy lady. Fred, what is your level up moment going to be going forward? What you got on the game board? What game plan? What is your game plan, Fred?
Your mouth moving can't be heard. Try it again.
I didn't even I saw it said Frederick, but I was like, why he look like some little young thug over there?
Try it again. Say something. Nope.
Uh-oh. See, that's why Tony and I are on here together, because his computer wouldn't work. We couldn't get his microphone.
Fred was on the computer when he was up here with y'all. Now
he was on. I don't know what happened.
Now he's on the phone, so I don't know what took place.
Okay, well, you think about it, Fred. You get back to us when you can.
I'm just saying, but yeah, and then the whole the level up for Trailblazers though. So the level up is to make sure this to end the quarter, end the rest of the year out the right way, and then to start fresh, but start with a bang in January. So right now the goal is to expand Trailblazers, to also get Trailblazers in a brick and mortar building as well. So that not only will the building be used for the shows, but there'll be green rooms and setup rooms inside the building where other people can come and use, like a co-op kind of situation.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay. See, and that's another thing I want to do. I want to hit. Yeah. I want to lift up Diamond Star Entertainment and get that moving in the direction it was meant to be going into.
So what of, and I know we talking about business, so we kind of got off the topic, but it's fine. So like, what are the steps that you feel like you need to take to do that, and then what are next steps in trying to actually get that implemented?
Well, first and foremost, I mean, I gotta have a meeting with the Wizzo here. We have to figure out exactly, because I take her input seriously. I don't want to make big moves on something, and so we work as a team. So we need to have a meeting and discuss the financials when it comes to Diamond Star, find out where we want to go, because there's different areas we can go in. We can do the literary. I mean, we can implement them all. Music, literary, we could do it all in one. But I want to do sublet companies inside of Diamond Star. So I want to do like Diamond Star Publishing, Diamond Star Entertainment is it covers everything. If you want to be a painter, if you want to be a painter, we'll cover you there. If you want to do comedy, if you want to be a singer, if you want to act, I want to go there. I want to go there. So
when the show is over, y'all don't leave out of the studio. I'm gonna I'm gonna give y'all some nuggets before y'all go tonight. So so going back to something you said earlier, Kai, I wanted to address when you was talking about back in the day, you would grab the mic and you would just sing, but now it's like you kind of shy with it, or to a certain extent, you don't want to do it if somebody called you out to kind of do it. Do you feel like what's the word? Do you feel like you kind of lost your drive for it? You're not as motivated as you used to be with it, or do you feel like it's something else holding you back from just going for it?
I think I don't think it's the drive. I think with there he is. I think with my age, and with taking so long off of doing music, I stopped music years and years ago. My youngest is 20. He was probably 1. When I originally stopped. So we're like 90s before I met him, or before we got together. But so all 19 years I haven't been doing music. So I think part of it is not 100% feeling up to par with what's going on now. And that, that's probably, and then, when you get up and you're old enough to be some of these singers' mamas that are singing. It just feels kind of like, okay, and they doing all of this, and they doing all the riffs, and they doing all of this type of stuff, and that's not me vocally. I think I just feel I've always had issues with self-confidence. So even like I said, even back then when I would grab the mic, my self-confidence still was low, probably like it is now. But I think I still was more, I was young. I didn't care. It was like, you may not like me, but I don't care. I'm still going to show you what I think I can do. Where now it's like I have to prep myself so that on the spot stuff catches me off guard more than I'm prepared. I've, gotten myself mentally prepared to do this today. Like, no, don't just call me up from out of the crowd. I'm not mentally prepared to do that.
Okay, well, see, this is one thing you always got to remember. Like, I sing too, but I sing mostly basically church, And so at the end of the day, when people know you a singer and then you walk in the room, you more like to go get called out, especially if they know you like that and they know that you can do it, they go call you out, right? And so it's just like, I think like you just have to start preparing yourself for when you go places and they like, oh, there go Kai, and you just be like, yeah, no, I just like want to sit here, like don't even say my name, like and keep going kind of situation, right? But I noticed that like even when I do that and I walk in churches now, I be like, I just want to take a seat and just sit here and get fed, and they laugh at me like, this what you thought was gonna happen? Kind of situation, like for real. I just want to sit down. Can I sit down and get fed today? Like kind of situation. And so I feel like you just have to start setting yourself up for it and just be like, okay, I know they might call me out, so I'm gonna just be ready. If they call me out, be ready. Be ready, stay ready, kind of situation.
Yeah,
you have to, like, that's something that's something that I had to learn. I still struggle, but I'm the same way. Like once I started singing in the choir, once I became praise and worship head or leader, and I started leading the choir, it became what are you singing? Like I'm not, I wasn't planning on it. But yeah, they want you to, when they know, they want you to
They
sing.
want you to get up and do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when they
And
know you got it, they be
yeah,
waiting on it.
yeah. Like, and I had to realize when it came to church, I had to realize that God gave me that gift.
Yeah,
And
I never thought of myself like that either. Like, a lot
yeah,
of people are like, oh, you a psalmist, you know how to baby, ain't nobody psalmist. I just like to sing. Like that's it. And I make sure that when I sing to the unction and the glory of him. That's it. To call me like a whole live psalmist, baby, that ain't my lane. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's not because I'm self-sabotaging myself. That ain't my lane, literally. And so, but it's just like, everybody's like, make a joyful noise. Oh, it's always gonna be joyful. It's always gonna be to the point where yeah, it can move or stir you too, but that ain't something that I want to do like all the time. And so it's just like for me, that was the reason why I asked, like, is the motivation factor gone? Do you feel like your fire gotta be reignited for that type of thing? And I know that sometimes our fire, the candle just go out. You know what I mean? And then it's just like, okay, do I even want to light it back again? Kind of situation. I don't think you need to let your age stop you though. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Look at Patti LaBelle, Shaka Khan, and all them. They still doing it. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? So hey, do it until you can't do it no more. That's how I feel about it. But
right.
it just depends on if you want to make it a whole career now. You know what I mean? Because if you turn it and make it a whole career, you get picked up or get signed or y'all become an indie label, however you want to call it, people will be calling you out. Okay, I need Kai, I need you and Tony to come do a show. I need you to come do a set. You got to be ready to get up and go travel, but you got all your other stuff that you got to deal with too. So like at that time, would y'all music trump the other stuff that y'all trying to do? You know what I
Right.
mean? So I mean
that's
I
the
guess that would
problem
be
I
the
had.
situation.
I had that problem because when we started working with the label here, I put down my books, and I had a
Okay.
trilogy I was working on.
Okay.
The books got shelved because first I started working with the artist finding artists, then working with the artist, then managing the artist, literally managing them. And I went from that to writing songs, and then from that to writing songs for me. So now I'm singing as well. So it became a whole whirlwind, and my books sat on the shelf. But I had a game plan for those books. Because I had a book that I was ready to finish so that I could like sell that to Netflix and get paid. Like I see when I write my books, I see them on the big screen. So I'm like, okay, this was my objective for that book. But when the music hit, I'm like, that's my passion. Music is a passion of mine. Writing is too, but music is a passion of mine since I've been like 7. So I'm like, let me get this music thing. I never sang for myself before. I've always helped others.
So as far as you guys is Diamond Star production, what's the other words I'm looking for? Are you production, managing, like are you guys an independent label? Is that what you would consider yourselves to be, or no?
Not a label, more like a management
company.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, would y'all think about becoming like an independent label for somebody or no?
You have to, I think in her terms, I think we'd have to do the necessary steps to get up to that. Because we know what it is to run we know what a label entails. And we worked with a company that wasn't ready to do what a label entails. And I think that kind of hit her hard as well, because she ended up putting in more than she was supposed to, and it wasn't respected. And it took its toll on the both of us. So yeah, I'd do the management thing and help artists get where they have to go. For me, I'll take my music and I'll put it online. And if it hits, that's fine. If it doesn't, I did something that I love and it's out there for people to enjoy.
So you can find your stuff online right now?
Right now I have a few things. I have one song that's out there that can be purchased and everything, but I have a whole album that's done. I just have to put it online.
You just have to release it. He has music on different platforms that can be listened to.
Right.
But then he has one song that's officially
out there.
Released. Or I have an EP, so I have like 5 songs that are out, and then we both have other songs on platforms where you can like release unreleased music where people can listen to it.
Yeah.
So in the comment section, can y'all drop y'all links to y'all songs?
So
that folks can get an opportunity to check y'all out. So I always like for people to know like what you guys do and how you guys do it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I would have never known if I would have said, hey, had this conversation with y'all, because I didn't know, everything until, and that's the reason why it's important to talk to people so that who can do what, because sometimes you never know what's in your circle of folks.
Right.
If you don't never ask. So I mean, I think that's awesome. You know what I mean? But I asked the question that I asked because with everything that y'all already do, I could see y'all becoming an independent label. But if you feel like there's something that y'all shouldn't do because of how another label did, again, it goes back to what we said earlier. Y'all ain't there.
Right.
Right.
And
but what we did understand it with that is what it literally takes to run a label. Right. And we would have to position ourselves in a particular way and have certain ducks in a row in order to literally do that. Plus, it takes a team. So we would need a way bigger team than we have to actually run it. Like some people try to do it with 3 people, 4 people. I mean, Babyface did it with what's his face there? But Babyface did a label, but he was already in the industry. You know what I'm saying? Like we're starting from street level. We'd have to pick it up, and it's not easy. We'd have to we need a studio. We
Okay.
would need a studio. We would need a producer who can make beats. We would need a vocal coach. Not that I can't do it, because I can, but to free me up for business, I would need a vocal coach. There's little outlets that we would need so that we can get stuff done for the artist, because a label takes care of the artist.
Right.
Right.
Mhm.
As to where, I mean, the management, we manage the artist, but as a label, you take care of the artist. And in the label that we were helping, the artists were taking care of themselves, or they were fending for themselves. They did everything for themselves, and then the label wanted 70%. So
Wow.
yeah, they wanted
Yeah.
70% and then got mad if anybody rebutted. But at the end of the day, if you're making your own music, meaning you're making the beats, you're making the lyrics, writing the lyrics, you're paying for your own studio time, you're producing your own stuff, then why are they getting 70%? They're not doing anything. No
Right.
vocal coach, no nothing. So I say that to say that it was a learning experience. We did what we did, and God taught us some stuff through that experience.
Right.
So now we know what we would need to do to take it to that level.
Mhm.
But I'm thinking we need to start, I don't want to say low, but we
No.
need to start where we know we can maneuver, and then add as we go to become that label.
Right.
Because it's
Okay.
gonna take, it would take a minute to get there. I have no problem. I'm a people person, so I have no problem with getting artists.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say this. You know what I mean? Because I mean, y'all should know. Y'all should know enough about me at this point. I'm gonna say this though. Don't don't delay yourself from doing something that y'all can do, because you don't know how it's going to work out, right? And so it's just like at the end of the day, I think y'all are more than capable of getting it done. And I feel like when the time comes, as y'all do step by step, y'all will be able to hire who you need to hire. You have everything that y'all need to have to get it done, because now it's at the point where y'all are okay to go ahead and write the vision and make it plain, right? And so I think
Yeah,
that y'all are in a good place. You know, God is releasing some things. He also opening and closing some doors that needed to be shut, so that permanent doors can be open. I truly believe like this is a at the end of this year, and especially for y'all to go into 2024. I truly believe like it's a year that y'all won't lack for nothing, and a whole lot of stuff is gonna change. You know what I mean? Reason why, because y'all have been seeking the understanding and the wisdom to be able to get what y'all need to get, and to know that if large sums of money do come in your hand, that it won't burn a hole in your pocket. You can take the money that y'all get and make it work and turn it into more funds. You know what I mean? And I think that that's one of the biggest things that a lot of people have misconstrued it in just life, period. When God allows you to get a hold of something and He releases favor, the type of favor that's coming your way on people such as yourselves, a lot of them misuse the favor when they get it, because they didn't have the wisdom to understand, to know, okay, well, now I'm going from I didn't have enough, that now I always got an overflow. So how am I supposed to work with this? You know what I'm saying? What is my next steps to take? And God, what you want me to do next? Because
Right.
just like you said, you wanted Diamond Star to be an umbrella of things, and y'all can do that. It's going to be easy for you to do, because it's not that hard to do. So at the end of the day, I'm going to go ahead and congratulate y'all early. And that's what I do. I like to congratulate ahead of time. Why? Because if somebody congratulates you now because they feel like they can see it for you, eventually you'll see it for yourself. And so I congratulate folks early. So I'm gonna congratulate y'all ahead of time. And
thank
as the
you.
month, as the months go by, and I get a chance to hear and see the praise reports, I can sit back and say, "Okay, God, you did it. You did it in your timing, but you did it." And to be able to sit back and say, "I watched y'all come from where you feel like you are now," but at the same time to say, "We made it, and we doing it, and we doing it with no stress. On top of that, I feel like everything that God does, He do it with a smooth transition, because when He tell you in the Word that He added to you, He make it rich, but He added no sorrow. So at the end of the day, when it's His doing, it ain't no struggle behind it. And I feel like y'all are about to come out of where it used to be a struggle and walk into that place where it's just not going to be a struggle anymore.
I received that word right there. I received that
So,
because and I feel it.
Right.
I feel it. You know what I mean? It's not like we don't. It's not like we don't feel that, because we do. We definitely feel it. Definitely feel it.
now listen, I'm
So
proud of y'all. Even with the stuff I see now, like on Kai's page that I'm a part of, I see her when she be up there doing her stuff, and I just be like, okay, let me see what she got going on today. But I like what she do. My thing is, at the end of the day, Kai, don't put yourself in a box. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff that you are very capable of doing. So get yourself out of the box that you put yourself in, because they where you're supposed to be. You one of those people that you have to stretch out, and as you stretch out, you notice there ain't no wall, and so it's like it's no border, and that's how you got to see yourself and where y'all headed. It ain't no border. It ain't no wall. So when it ain't no wall, that means it's endless. You can just keep building and keep building and keep building, and that's what y'all got to do. You got to build now, and don't look back, and don't be sorry, because it's what you're doing. When the folks that have been around y'all and folks that y'all used to link up with don't understand, who fault is it that you left behind because y'all didn't want to move? At the end of the day, do what y'all got to do, but take yourself out of the box, because it's so much to you. It's like an onion with a whole lot of layers. A lot of people around you don't even know everything you're capable of doing.
true.
And that's sad. That's supposed to be your friend, but you don't even know your friend can do your makeup, make you look good for your party. You don't know that your friend can cater for your party. Why? Because you didn't answer. But this your friend. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
Like, and it's funny you said that, because the Malay who I just did her makeup, she was like, "Girl, I didn't know you did other people's makeup." She's like, "I see you doing your makeup all the time, but I didn't know that you do other people's makeup." And I had to go, do I even like really put I know occasionally I say it, but do I speak what I say I want? Like, I might say it in my head, or I'll say it to my husband, and occasionally I might say it, but like, do I really, really put it out there so that people who are in the positions who might want to hire me to do something, like, am I consistent? Consistency is my issue.
right.
Am I consistent so that people, oh, I missed that because you made one post 3 months ago about, being a makeup artist. You made one post 3 months ago about making cakes. But am I as consistent so that people can actually say, yeah, I know that's what she does.
Right.
So yeah.
Don't slow yourself down. Don't delay yourself. At the end of the day, you have, well, both of y'all really, but you have money making hands. And so at the end of the day, when you stop and don't do nothing, you letting your funds sit.
Right.
You let your funds sit, because you are in control of what you make. And so when you don't do nothing, you ain't making nothing. You
Right.
know what I mean? And so it's just like it's one of those situations where I always like to tell people, like, listen, don't be afraid of being successful, because success is calling your name. The problem is you're not answering. So don't be afraid of being successful, because that's,
Nothing.
you know what I'm
Nothing
saying?
but
Don't be afraid of being successful, because that's y'all avenue. That's where y'all supposed to be.
I just have to sit back, and I have to, what's the word I'm looking for? When you gotta put stuff in, I have to put
Ducks in a row.
everything in order
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to what I'm doing. Because like I said, I'm working on 4 books.
Right.
4 books. I
So
have a song.
do you have a deadline of when you actually want your books to be out? And that's for the both of y'all.
I don't. I would like to have a date, but I haven't set one because I'm also doing the music. So it becomes a what comes first, what comes second, what comes third type of scenario for me.
Right.
Where do I pick up Diamond Star and start going out there getting the artists I need, or in building Diamond Star, or do I finish these books first? What about the music? Do I handle the music and then go to the books? Or
and his time is less than mine, so he
with
has
a
a
job
different
that I have, it's like
a different time availability than I do, where I have, other than doctor's appointments, I have my day. 12 of his hours are, at work or traveling. He's gone from 6:30 in the morning to 6:30 at night. So he's got 12 hours of his day that are taken. So his time frame is
off. And I have a
less
lot of
than
hats
mine.
that I wear within that week span. So I have to figure out, I have to prioritize. Thank you, Lord. I have to prioritize what I'm doing. And it's hard to do because I could possibly, and I don't have a big head, but I could excel in what I'm doing. Like music, I could make something big. With the book, I can put my books on a big screen. These two things I can do. And I can be a good manager if I had the time outside of everything else I'm doing. So I got to prioritize. And that.
So let me ask you this question. What is making you afraid of stepping out and just becoming a full-time entrepreneur?
Being able to take care of my wife and my home, because I need the money in order to do that. Honestly. And the only way that I can see to do it right now is if I could get a grant, then okay. I need to try to see if I can get a grant. If I can, then I can build the business. But again, it for me, I don't know if I'm putting restraints on myself. I might be, but I see time as a combatant.
Yeah, well, your time is a issue, but
man, you said that the last time we were on the show. You said that to me. You said there was something I have to do, and it has a time frame on it.
Yeah.
So that's been stuck in my head ever since. You have me scared.
I'm telling you, the timing is the problem, but at the same time, you are restraining yourself. Both of you are. You are restraining yourself, and at the end of the day, you got to figure out like what you want to do. That's why I say after the call is over, y'all chat with me for a few minutes, because everything that you say you trying to get a hold of, I got the means and the resources for you to get it. So it's just like, for a lot of the stuff that you guys do is important and it's needed. You know what I'm saying? And so you got to stop restraining yourself. And I know that timing is your issue, but the issue outside of your timing is that you are overanalyzing and thinking too much. You'll overanalyze it so much that sometimes you won't even pick it up.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I can see you doing it, like for real. I can see you sitting down literally at the thing and you done type like 2 or 3 sentences and then you stop and you start thinking about something else and then you done look back at what you just wrote, overanalyze it and deleted it back off the screen and just stop. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, no, you got to stop. Don't hold yourself up. Don't be your own delay. You know what I mean?
That's his problem when it comes to his writing.
Yeah,
he'll write a chapter, go back and review the chapter, rewrite, go back and review, rewrite. I mean, like, babe, it's gonna take you forever to write this book.
But here's my thing. When people read my books, they love them. I've never gotten a bad, and I'm not, again, with the big head. I don't have a big head, but I've never had anybody tell me they don't like my writing.
Okay.
Like they read my poems and they were like, you need to do a poetry book. I started the novels and people were pre-buying my novel.
Okay.
Because they said it was that good and they could see it on the big screen. I had somebody tell me, Tony, I read this book, and they were supposed to be editing the book. And they were like, Tony, this really doesn't need much editing, because I go over my book, because I'm trying to get it to where I'm satisfied with it. Because I don't want to put something out that I'm not satisfied with and then expect everybody else to be satisfied with it.
But what about what you have already done is making you unsatisfied? Like, this is the thing. Most people that want stuff to be picture perfect always have issues. Why? Because it'll never be perfect.
It'll never be perfect. And I tell them that all the time. Like, you can put it out And 6 years from now, you go pick up your first book and read. You can be like, "Why did I say that like that? What's wrong with me? I could have said the sentence better." Like you can always improve, and if you're always looking for how you can do it differently, it'll never ever be done.
Right. And that's the thing. I'm telling you that. Why? Because the love of my life is the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, he will go over something 1,000 times. I be like, it's all right. I be like, listen, Greta, they used to say, don't fix what ain't broke. Stop. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you keep trying to go back and refix it. You'll be done took what was a very good narrative and jacked it up because you thought it wasn't good. You know what I'm saying? So don't do that. Stop guessing yourself because right now you are delaying what you need to do, sir. Like, and so that you gotta change. And Fred, I see you back on the screen. Can you actually say something now? Can you talk?
I did. I was saying something.
Okay. All right. I was waiting for the sound. Bless him. Okay, so like at the end of the day, so we can get ready to close this out real quick before we go. Fred, we was asking each other what's our next level up moment. So, what is your next plan to level up for your personal life, and then what is your next level up plan for Trailblazer?
Oh man, so I'll start with personal first because that is because my personal to be personal, my personal and my business, they're they're gonna be interconnected.
Okay.
And there's always one thing I can do in my personal to improve the business part of it. So one of the things is personally to continue to work on being this better person that I see myself being. Um, you know, continue to do the deep dives that I've been doing within myself and just, continue to knock down all those hard places that were built up like as defenses and just continue to walk in the path that I know that God wants me to walk. So business wise, it's like I said, they're interconnected. So
okay,
for me, it's about making this platform the best platform that it can be. What that's going to entail is, people like you guys, but also me being the leader that I know that I'm supposed to be, which means being much more accountable, uh being more visible, having a strong voice with it when it's time to have a strong voice, but also learning to shrink back when it's time when you guys have ideas and be able to implement those ideas into what we're doing. Um, long term goal is to get us to where we have a sponsorship. So where certain things that we do, we're compensated for. So that way we don't have to work as hard as we do.
Are you
Short term,
proud of yourself right now?
I would say so. Personally and business wise, I mean,
Okay.
I'm proud of the person that I'm becoming, but I'm also proud of the turn the turn that I'm beginning to make towards business. Like I said, and I'll say this out here, transparent. I be very transparent. For 3 years, I was flying by the seat of my pants, had no idea of what all this entailed. I just wanted to make content and have fun doing it and bring people along. I didn't know that this entailed a whole lot of other stuff, and that's the part of it that I'm learning. But at the same time, I'm also having fun. I'm enjoying the learning process. Some people would kind of frown at that and be like, "Well, I don't want to learn that. I don't want to do that." I'm actually enjoying the learning process. I'm not scoffing at advice that you give me, Coco. I mean, I'm not scoffing at advice that anybody people that are in my inner circle give me. I don't scoff at that. I'm taking notes. I'm writing stuff down. I'm watching videos. I'm reading articles, and I'm doing things to try to implement those strategies and those thought processes that other people have impressed upon me with. So
well, I just think that is so ironic in the sense that we are now bringing Tony and Kai on as hosts. But the reason why I say that is because
She said ironic.
a lot of the stuff that you do, Fred, they do.
Yep.
And so at the end of the day, the collaboration part is what's, so funny to me, is because you have been trying to get your stuff on a stage or in the movies as well. Then here comes Tony talking about the same thing. And so
Yes.
I have been wanting for you to be able to do those things that you love, but also have another person that you could connect with to like bounce things off of. I'm not saying that you couldn't do it with me because you talk to me all the time, but it's different when you're talking man to man with another dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then when y'all share stuff and you bounce off of each other and then y'all could encourage one another, it's a totally different concept. And so us ladies, we do this all the time. But the dudes don't always do that. The dudes always be like, I wish I had a real dude that I could just reach out to.
Yeah.
Because half of the people y'all deal with ain't real people.
Right.
And so I feel like, you should be super proud of who you are now and super proud of where you started from, and to see yourself 3 years down the road, it's a grand thing. You know what I'm saying? And just so Tony and Kai know, like, we have seen people that got sponsors, quote unquote, already in the podcasting world since I have been with Fred. And they have not hit the amount of shows that we have done. If you was to go and look at our, my YouTube or the Trailblazers YouTube page, where I think I got more on my personal page than Trailblazers did.
Yeah.
Because Trailblazers got YouTube page got made later than mine.
Yeah.
We have almost 400 shows that have been done.
Wow.
That's a lot in a 3-year time span.
It is.
And so when you
That's
look
not
at
counting the repository that's on blog.
and that's not in count. That's not even counting the stuff that we used to do on Blog Talk. If you counted just when it was just audio and no streaming, we like 600-700 shows deep.
Right.
In 3 years. So, just like I congratulated y'all early, Fred, look, you my bro. And you have been since the day I met you. So I congratulate you now. Why? So you can celebrate yourself later. At the end of the day, you should be very proud of coming from where you were to where you at now, because you already know that they other people that ain't hit where you hit yet.
Right.
Amen.
And a lot of people like to rub the fact that they got the sponsors in your face, but the question is, who butt did you kiss to get that sponsor? Because that's what a lot of them are doing.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that you don't do. And so at the end of the day, don't feel bad because you ain't where they at. Be glad that you're not where they at, because they have to deal with a whole lot just so they can get that check from them sponsors they dealing with.
Right.
Yep.
So, when the person comes along, which I'm praying that Trailblazers does get the sponsorship in January, when that person comes along, at the end of the day, they already said they don't want you changing nothing. They don't want you to change who you are. They want you to keep the same structure you got, but be consistent and grow. And that's what you need from a real sponsor. At the end of the day, why the sponsor telling you how to jump and you saying how high? That ain't how that works.
Right.
Because I'm watching a lot of them do that. A lot of these people that you have connected yourself to before, like, you pay to get yourself in front of folks. The Bible tells us that your gift will make room for you.
Yep.
Not you make room for the gift. That ain't how that works.
Right.
And so at the end of the day, I'm not finna pay to showcase who I am. I can do that without paying for it. So at the end of the day, that's the thing that I want you to understand. Don't ever compare yourself to somebody else. Why? You don't know what they did to get what they got.
Oh, Lord.
So
That's
do
a
not
word
compare
right there.
yourself to somebody else, because what you do and what Trailblazers do and what you see in all these other folks do. All these people that have come to you and say, yeah, I want you to come and bring Trailblazers over here, and they was going to try to change who you were and change the integrity of your show, your station. No, sir. No, sir. That's not what we're doing. It's just like you don't compromise your life for nobody. It's not gonna go down that way. And so I'm proud of you, bro. Be proud of yourself, man. I understand that you don't feel like you where you want to be right now, but it's the fact that you still attempting to try. you don't never get far in life. You can't even fail if you don't try.
There you go.
True enough.
Right.
Sure
Right.
You know
enough.
what I'm saying? Like, listen, I could tell you a lot of stuff to help build you all day, but the main thing I want you to take away from what I'm saying to you, Fred, be proud of yourself, bro. Be proud of yourself.
I am, because just in case y'all didn't know, the biggest failure in life is not trying. Period.
Mm-hmm.
That it is.
There you go.
If you don't try, how you know you go succeed?
Right.
You already failed.
Yeah.
And so before we get ready to close this out, I want Tony and Kai to give y'all one last nugget for the night. Fred, do the same thing. And we're gonna close it out for y'all lovely people. We will be back later on in the week with y'all because I think we got something. Do we have something Friday?
Yes, I do. Yes,
Okay.
I do.
And LSG still doing her show Saturday, right?
Yeah, I think she's gonna do. I think she is, but she hadn't told me which show she was gonna have me do as a pre-record. So I'm gonna get with her about that one.
Okay. All
But
right.
Friday, a good friend of mine, Yashika Rock's gonna be in here. We're gonna talk about her journey and I'll talk about her nonprofit Shine Honey, and we're gonna have a great time.
Okay. So y'all heard it. We'll make the announcements after they finish before we get ready to get up off of here. Go ahead, Tony and Kai.
Okay, go ahead.
For me, I guess, final points would just be, just go for it. You, like Fred said, you never know what you can accomplish until you try. So write it down. Like I said earlier, write it down, make it plain, and make your plan as detailed as possible. And then start checking that list off and find you a circle that'll help hold you accountable so that you don't self-sabotage.
That's right. That's right. You pretty much said what I was gonna say. But yeah, you got to make the game plan. Write it down, make it plain, stick to it. Do the piecework. Like put it into the pieces. Like don't just see the big picture. You got to see everything. Work the game plan and push forward. There's no failing unless you don't do it. So
Amen.
with that said, I need y'all to come see me on the 15th. Come back here. T Waves to the point. That's the name of my show. T Waves to the point. We're gonna get to the point of a whole lot of things. So
Okay.
come see me. It's gonna be every other Wednesday. The first Wednesday in the month and the third Wednesday in the month. Come check me out. We're gonna talk. We're gonna have some fun.
What time?
It's gonna be at 8 o'clock, 8 to 10. 8 to 10. And we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun. We also have T Wade and Kai. We got Sofa Chat coming. Straight at you. Coming at you. You don't see this coming.
Not really.
You don't see this coming, but it's coming. So you're gonna tune in. Let them know when we're doing that one. Let them know.
Every second and fourth Wednesday. So next Wednesday at 7 o'clock, our first show is going to be at 7, and we're going to talk about mental health. So we have a couple of guests. Fred, Coco, you are welcome to hop on if you're available. We have a healthcare professional, Keith. I always say his name wrong. Keith Belvin. He's going to be on with one of our good friends, Shemaya Marty. We're just going to talk about mental health, especially within our community and especially concerning our men. And mental health. So that's what we're going to talk about next week. And then I will have my own show on Mondays. I'm not 100% on the time because I did have to switch it because I just saw that somebody else has a show on Mondays as well. So I think I pushed mine back earlier a little bit. So I think it'll be like 11 to 1, something like that on Mondays.
Okay. Fred?
Okay, so if I could drop a nugget for somebody, well, let's see. One of the cool things about being up under the radar is that nobody notices you. That's one of the cool things about being up under the radar, that you can move quietly, you can move in silence, you can move in peace, and you can move with nobody really just without you leaving a footprint anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when you are not under the radar? What happens now that you have that? What happens now that you're seed and everything like that? Well, you have to be cognizant of the footprint that you leave around not only the people that surround you, but also the footprint you leave around yourself. What are the ways that you can? What are the ways that you can keep your footprint a healthy footprint? Is just be mindful of the people that you keep in your orbit. You surround yourself with good people. It's always going to be a good result. You surround yourself with negative people. Well, I think we all know what happens with that. So running up under the radar is a good thing, but be prepared to come from up under the covers, come from up under the radar, because everybody that runs up under the radar eventually is found, and how you deal with being found will determine whether or not you level up or you sabotage yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And y'all know me, so at the end of the day, my thing is don't be afraid to level up, and this is the season to level up. It's time to walk away from the old seasons because it's a lot of people still trying to pull stuff from prior seasons into the new stuff, and you can't do that.
Yeah.
It was supposed to have been done back then, you know. And so there's just certain things that you can't bring into your new atmosphere like it's supposed to be. At the end of the day, do not sabotage yourself. Do not be your own weapon formed, as I like to say. And make sure you pay attention to who's around you. If friends are negative Nancy's, if they always using you as the dump truck, as I like to say,
Ooh,
change your circle because
Mm.
everything ain't your assignment. And we as people, I need y'all to learn how to stop trying to fix people.
yep.
It's not your job to fix nobody. It's their job to want to change. And all you can do is sit back and watch and wait for the change and pray for them. So it's not your job to fix them though. That's not what we're here to do. And so at the end of the day, you know, take time out to really start to prioritize what you're trying to do and where you want to be in life because 2024 it's going to be a year, but it's going to be a great year for a lot of people if you know the favor that you walk in and the season that you're currently in. So that is my
Amen.
take on tonight. And so y'all know we love y'all. And y'all know my
Oh, yes, we
motto.
do.
We love y'all to live. We love y'all to life and live every day on purpose. And please make it count. So this
Amen.
is the announcements. We got the new host. So please give them a round of applause and be ready when their schedule come out. I do believe that the flyer has already been put out for them. But
Yep.
I have not rotated all of their stuff out to you guys yet. Why? Because we're just coming into November. So today is the first. Enjoy the new month and the new time. And so we have
Oh yeah, I had
Friday
one more
night.
thing, but go
Go
ahead
ahead.
first. Nope,
I
go
was
ahead.
going to say we have Friday night with Fred. If it's LSG is not doing a pre-record, we have Saturday with her at 5 p.m. And then um, I'll be doing a show Sunday evening. So you guys just make sure you stay on the lookout for everything that we got coming up. Go ahead,
Okay.
Fred.
So the announcement I had is this is a call to all independent artists. Now, Tony and Kai know a lot of people as far as independent artists. I know a lot of people that's independent artists. Coco, you know people that's independent artists. So this is a call to everyone that we know that we're connected to, every independent artist that we're connected to. Look, during the month of November, during the month of November, I want to honor you guys as artists by playing one of your songs at the end of each and every one of our shows. So if you are interested in this particular type of thing, now understand that this is something that'll expose you to our audience, as well as get you connected to some potential buyers and potential people that want to buy your stuff as well. So if you're interested, please do me a favor. Send an email to us at Trailblazers with a Z radio at gmail.com. Myself or Coco will get that. We'll get that email and we will respond to you guys within 24 to 48 hours. And what we want to do for you guys is play one of your songs or one of your videos um, during the course of during the course of one of our shows. We can do it at the beginning, we'll do it at the middle, or we'll do it towards the end. But the other thing I want you guys to know that it has to be the music has to be your work, has to be your work to be has to be something that you guys have already either leased out or paid for, because y'all know how YouTube do.
Not just YouTube. Facebook is really bad for it.
Yep, y'all know how YouTube and Facebook do. Because we can get hit with a copyright thing if the music isn't yours, or you haven't cleared it with the producer of the track.
Right.
Because that. So make sure whatever music you send to us, make sure that it's cleared with the producer of the track. Because if it's not, that's a copyright hit on us, because that producer can't come for us.
So going forward, are you going to do this like once a week? Or how are you trying to set up?
I do want to do it once a week. For like at least one artist a piece. So if somebody comes, so say for instance, if someone comes to you, Coco, they want you to feature something that they have that they've done, and they want to do it exclusively on your or your show, they can do that.
Okay.
Same thing with you guys. Same thing with you, Tony. They want to do it exclusively on your show, they can do that. Or if they just want to do it throughout every last one of our shows, they can do that. That's the choice is up to y'all, guys. The thing is that the main point of this is just to honor you guys as artists, because I know being an independent artist, I'm not one, and I did dabble in that for a while, but I understand that that is a grind, and I know that there are a lot of times what is done under the radar and even above the radar is unappreciated, and you guys do a lot of work. So I want to honor you guys by doing this for you, by playing your song and giving you a shout out, man, or giving you a shout out on our platform. So if you're interested, email us.
Okay. I was looking back over the comment section because it looked like somebody had commented from, I think it's Tony and Kai's YouTube.
Yeah, it might have been mine. Diamond Butterfly.
Yeah, somebody put. Hold on, I'm trying to find it because I know I just went over it. Let me find it. I think they said something along the line. Wait a minute. I can't find it now. Okay. Unless you guys put it in. Somebody from your YouTube says, I'm gonna put it on the screen.
Oh yeah.
Look.
Don't do the plan in fail. Don't do that.
No, I just passed.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, they said don't ignore the plan and fail. So I like to make sure that we pay attention to you guys in the comments, so that if we need to comment back to something that you said, we'll see it. But I got lost because we got a whole lot of comments in here tonight. So make sure you guys go back through. Please make sure you click on the links to their songs. I want you guys to go like, share, subscribe, follow, buy, do all that good stuff. Y'all know how I like to do. Y'all know I like to support people. So please support them in all of their endeavors. Go ahead.
Well, I think if I just can send up some good thoughts. I just got the call. We about to go maybe have a baby. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's end it. We love y'all.
We go eat it right now.
Later on. Have a good night.
Indeed. So take y'all home with a track. Y'all enjoy yourselves. Peace. Love, peace, and hair grease.